So it's been a week. It's been a week with the Nitro Deck, and I didn't make it, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't make it. But I have a lot of things to say about it because I think that the Nitro Deck actually is very, very useful for one specific person, and I am definitely not that person. In fact, during the time that I had with the Nitro Deck, Satisfy actually came and saved the day. Wasn't expecting it, but they did. And well, I'll talk a little bit about them a little later. So first, let's work on build quality. The build quality of this guy is actually pretty good. It feels good. It's robust and fills the hands, and that's what you would expect in something this big. And I liked it, except the actual button placement. Ooh, what an issue that was. And my reason for saying that is because when you're playing this thing, you want it to feel good. And when you pick it up, honestly, it does. It feels good, but the second you go to reach down like this, that's just a problem. And I know that the point of this thing was to create a better experience ergonomics-wise, because these little guys are just atrocious. But that's where I felt like, well, the split pad compact kind of saved the day because you can dock and get both. The split pad compact also comes with its fair share of shortcomings, such as no gyro control, no amiibo support, no rumble, and the sticks, unfortunately, aren't up to quality as something like the Nitro Deck. If I can't play the Nitro Deck the way I want to because it just doesn't feel right, and the features don't add up to the best experience for the form factor, then what is there to do? Tell you what, I've never been a fan of grip cases, and to date, I'm not a fan of grip cases, but this, the Satisfy Ronin, actually is the best option when it comes to grip cases. I switched to it halfway through, but this isn't a review about the Ronin, that's to come. This is why the Nitro Deck falls short. And still, I still think there's someone that should buy this. Now let's talk about Crack's marketing. Incredible marketing, oh my gosh. I mean, a company that is making limited run, working with limited run, editions and different colorways that you can't get once they sell out, and you can rank them on the different, on their app and see how rare they really are. Let me tell you, a device like the Nitro Deck, which is being released at a time where the hardware itself is on its way out, genius. It's genius. It promotes buying it even though it's not going to last. Good on you, Nitro Deck, and Cracked, I suppose. It's not a criticism. I don't like it, but it's not a criticism. By the way, this vacuum seals my coffee so that it stays delicious. I need some gear for the coffee, of course. Hot water, and we're ready to go. And so then who is this for? Who do I believe would benefit from something like the Nitro Deck? Because I personally don't feel like I'm benefiting from it at all. I'm not saying that it's a bad product, not at all. I just think that there are some shortcomings. First, the person it's for. I think that this is great for parents. I think that anyone who has kids who have, like this, a launch day switch. I stopped putting my OLED switch in it because it was scratching the back of it, and I'm not about that. But anyone who has like a launch day switch or a Redbox switch, it needs new Joy-Cons because their kids have destroyed their original Joy-Cons. This is great. It's cheaper than a pair of Joy-Cons. It's $60. And then you can get their case, which is atrocious. Honestly, I'm gonna talk smack on the case. The case is an afterthought. The Satisfy case that comes with the Ronin is incredible. Soft, feels good. Hold on, gotta pour a little more water. Also, it has 10 card slots, not 8 card slots, and the whole case itself feels like it was actually designed intentionally for this, and it's really, really robust rather than this. And this right here, this little thing that they put on here for Cracked. I mean, if I'm being honest, right now, I just peeled it off. That was a bad idea. I want to like it. I want to like it so much, but I can't. Anyway, this is very, very much so for parents. And the parents that want to buy this are parents who intend on keeping their Nintendo Switches alive for their children. Because this, I wouldn't feel so bad dropping this thing. I'm not going to show you by dropping it, but I wouldn't feel so bad dropping this thing. It has a very nice bumper across the back. If you drop it on the sides, it's gonna protect your Switch, which this right here is the valuable piece. And the beeping is my scale, by the way. And so I think that this would be a good solution, especially because kids, smaller hands, can actually use the grips a little bit easier than someone like myself who has normal adult hands. They're not large, but they're normal and adult. And the Switch itself with a grip case actually angles your hands in a way that makes this comfortable. Again, Satisfy really knocked it out of the park with their new Ronin grip case because this is dockable. Now they promote it as something that is just as easy to dock as using it without a case. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not the case. When you dock this thing, it does unfortunately have a little bit of pressure that you have to deal with, but it's nothing that I'm particularly worried. And that's primarily because I'm really careful with how I dock and undock. So I don't really care that this takes a little extra finesse versus the... Dead. This has killed the battery. That's another thing you have to worry about. This right here actually draws 100% of its power out of your battery. And I don't like that. This is a third-party product. This is not a first-party product. While they do take care to make sure that you're gonna be safe when you're using this, it's still a third-party product. So all the mechanisms, including the release mechanism that you press up and then you have to slide, but you have to apply pressure on the screen to actually slide it out. Oh gosh, how much I hate that. Yeah, see, and it's scratching my Switch. Now this Switch is actually pretty beat up already, so I'm not too worried about it, but it's still scratching my Switch. So we're gonna go ahead and push this in there and we're good to go. This thing has so many things I wanna love about it, but it just misses the mark. And the number one thing, of course, that really makes it not to work at all for me is the fact that it's not actually switchable. You have to play it 100% handheld. And for me, that's a no-go because one, as a career choice, I have made playing video games on the internet the thing that I do. And so I can't do that with this. I have to slide it in and out of the sled, which we just saw scratches it. And so this actually saved the day. I know I've already said that, but the Zen Grip Ronin, though it's, again, not perfect, and design-wise, I much prefer the design of this to this. I'm at a point in my life where practicality does take the win, and when I'm sitting with my kids on my couch, one's napping on me, the other is watching Bluey or whatever show. Bluey's the best. Dads, in the comments, let me know which is your favorite episode. This right here, oh, Link's gonna die, is really something that I can get behind. I always thought that grips looked lame, and to a certain extent, I still believe that to be true, but this Zen Grip Ronin actually is the best of all the worlds when it comes to grips. It's super sturdy, and so I really do like that. It doesn't get in the way of the actual Switch itself, especially when docking it. You can still maintain all the functionality, like the flap, as well as still docking it. You can also get their case, which I highly recommend. This thing is actually really good quality. This is better quality than Tom Talk. And if you're friends of this channel, sorry Tom Talk, I have to tell you, these guys really, they made something special. There's like extra padding in here, it's soft. It's just a good combo, honestly, it is. Now, is this a better combo than something like the Hori split pad compacts? For me, I think yes. Now I have those split pad compacts and I will use them from time to time, but I think that something like the Zen Grip Ronin does do the trick for me. And honestly, when it comes to this whole replaceable grips, handheld, making your Switch more ergonomic, something like this really is not the play, not at all. This makes your Switch ginormous, takes away from the attractiveness of the design, and I think that this is better suited for families with kids and they need extra protection. This reminds me of like those Otter boxes that we all had growing up when we had iPhones, or some of us had iPhones. This thing is just huge. Now you can replace the thumbsticks to make them a little bit different, and this does have Hall thumbsticks, I think that's what it's called. So you do have the advertised no drift, so that's better for kids too. Comes in a bunch of colors and it's relatively affordable. I mean, it's cheaper than Joy-Cons, so that is something. Now, of course, Joy-Cons do have some extra features that you'll never get on this, such as HD rumble, which is a little bit more immersive, as well as Amiibo support, and you get also the fact that these are first-party, and first-party devices with first-party hardware is always gonna be the first-party experience. Expensive. So anyway, these things are gonna be just a little bit more feature-rich than the Nitro Deck. Let me know in the comments below if you're someone who's a huge fan, if this review was off base for you. If you're like, no, I disagree. Those things don't matter to me, and I still think that the Nitro Deck is for me, because I personally think that this missed the mark. It's a great idea, but it just didn't quite do it. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I'm gonna sip on some of this coffee, try to get a workout in before I have to go pick up my kid. But most of all, happy gaming.